Baseball in April and Other Stories is an anthology of short stories by Gary Soto about his own experiences of growing up in Central California. Annoying brothers, headless Barbies, karate lessons, and embarrassing families are things we all can identify with. The kids in these stories are Latinx, but their dreams and experiences represent all of us. Remember to look for the special in the everyday and to cherish each moment as a moment that makes you stronger, smarter, and ready to take on the world. Lily loves her dog, Lucky. When he slips his collar and runs away, it's Salma Santiago who brings him back home. Salma and Lily, two girls from different worlds, become unlikely friends that summer. Lily has lived in eastern Maine all her life, and Salma and her family are migrant workers, here for the blueberry season. But trouble starts when Salma decides to run in the upcoming Blueberry Queen pageant. She is an outsider, not from here. What makes her think she has any right to participate in the pageant? And what if she actually wins? A Handful of Stars, set in eastern Maine, is the story of the friendship between a small-town girl and the daughter of migrant workers. Throughout the summer, the girls and the community learn some tough truths about prejudice, belonging, and the power of friendship. Alma Flor Eda grew up in Cuba. Cuba is somewhat of a mystery to many of us. It is a country with a challenging past, and it is difficult to travel there. But the culture and the people are wonderful and welcoming and vibrant. Through Alma's first-person account of stories and memories of her childhood on the island, we learn how the experiences of her youth shaped the person she is today. We learn about her friendship with a dance teacher who helped her through a difficult year at school, and learn about her uncle's passions, the thrill of flying an airplane, and dedication to others through service. We all have experiences as children that help mold the people we are today. Under the Royal Palms encourages us all to discover these stories in our own lives. You may have a memory from when you were in kindergarten that has affected a hobby or an interest that you have now. Remember these stories and write or draw about them if you can. Maybe someday you can write a memoir of your childhood too. If you like Percy Jackson and other Rick Riordan characters, you'll love Zane and his friends in The Storm Runner. This is a fiction adventure story based on Mayan mythology. Zane enjoys exploring the dormant volcano near his house with his dog, Rosie. Hiking it is a challenge, though, because he walks with a limp and uses a cane. Because of his physical challenge, he gets made fun of at school, and the volcano is his secret escape. But little does Zane know that the volcano is a gateway to another world, even more dangerous than middle school. The Storm Runner is the first book in a series that follows Zane and his friends' adventures through the world of Maya mythology. Everyone thinks Marcus Vega can speak Spanish, but he can't. Marcus is only in 8th grade, but he is already 6 feet tall and 180 pounds, which means he is both a threat and a target wherever he goes. When Marcus gets in serious trouble at school, his mom decides to take him and his younger brother to Puerto Rico to spend a week with relatives and for a change of scenery. Marcus knows his father, who left the family 10 years ago, is somewhere on this island, and he just has to find him. Marcus spends his time in Puerto Rico searching for his father. Regardless of whether or not he eventually finds him, what he ultimately discovers changes his life and is the subject of some crazy stories. And Marcus Vega even learns a little bit of Spanish, too. Violet Paz hates wearing dresses, and forget about pink and frilly. But she has just turned 15, and according to her Cuban grandmother, must have a traditional quinceañera, which also traditionally is pink and frilly. Besides her family's passion for playing dominoes, smoking cigars, and dancing to Latin music, Violet doesn't know much about her Cuban heritage and history. The mere mention of Cuba and Fidel Castro upsets her grandparents and makes her father angry. When Violet reluctantly accepts Abuela's plans for a quinceañera, she begins to ask tough questions about her Cuban roots and to form her own opinions of the island, culture, and history that are a part of her family identity. Violet is half Cuban, half Polish, but feels 100% American. Cuba 15 is the story of a girl finding her identity and ultimately embracing the cultures that make her the young woman she is today. Riding Low on the Streets of Gold is an anthology for young adults that illustrates through beautiful poetry and prose the challenges of growing up Latinx. This collection gathers stories and poems about negotiating identity, living the bilingual immigrant experience, and learning to love the bodies and worlds in which young adults find themselves. Recurring themes throughout these short stories include friendship, responsibility, belonging, acceptance, and patience. Riding Low on the Streets of Gold is a collection of writings by both well-known authors and newcomers that will appeal to young adult and adult readers who will be able to connect with the emotions and experiences of these vibrant characters. Maria is a girl caught between two worlds. She was born in Puerto Rico, but now lives in a basement apartment with her father in a barrio in New York. Maria's mother has the island spirit inside her and can't imagine living in an apartment in the barrio. Maria's father can't imagine living where he can't hear the sounds of the city. Maria chose to go to New York to live with her father, and this is the story, told through letters, poems, and prose, of a girl struggling to fit in. The barrio residents are diverse and vivid, and their stories reflect the immigrant and Puerto Rican experiences. As Maria works to lose her island accent, she learns the Spanglish of the barrio and finds the poet within herself. Call Me Maria is bursting with life and hope and the amazing resilience that sustains Maria throughout her young life. The House on Mango Street is a series of vignettes that tell the story of a year in the life of a young Latina girl growing up in Chicago. Esperanza Cordero, whose name means hope, gives a glimpse into her life through short stories describing colorful neighbors and friends on Mango Street. Esperanza wants to get away from Mango Street, far away, but she can't leave it behind. These are her people. She is like a red balloon wanting to be free, but tied to an anchor. All brown, all around. We are safe here, says Esperanza. Told from the viewpoint of Esperanza, the vignettes paint a beautiful and yet heartbreaking picture of life on Mango Street. One of the most important themes is the power of words in any language. With the help and support of, and sometimes at the expense of, others, Esperanza learns to use language to take control of her life. My Family Divided is the true story of a family whose immigration status is hanging by a thread. Diane Guerrero, you may know her from the television shows Orange is the New Black and Jane the Virgin, was born in the United States, but her older brother and parents are Colombian. They are living quietly as undocumented immigrants, trying to obtain citizenship, but also trying not to call too much attention to themselves. Diane's father won't drive even 1 mile over the speed limit in fear of getting pulled over. One day, while Diane was at school, her parents are taken from their home, detained, and deported. Diane's resilience and strength in the days, months, and years to come is incredible, and she shares her struggles and triumphs with her readers. Be warned, though, this is a tough book that deals with undocumented immigration, detention centers, deportation, depression, and self-harm. But in the world we all live in, Diane's story needs to be shared. Diane also writes and talks about immigration issues on a national stage and volunteers with the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. Her story, told in first person in My Family Divided, is fascinating, heartbreaking, uplifting, and inspirational.